remove the surveyors to go into the cargo tanks. And you have your full time to do so. You don't need to have any stress or anything in the harbor. These curves, and it is on the training stick that the Hansa vessel have received. We should take a quick look just to repeat for you who have done this, and then for you others that is going to take a look at this. It's easy procedure. This is on your in your form. Follow this setup. And here is where you are changing. Normally it comes out in what they call PSV. And then you change that to Excel. And as soon as you change it to Excel, you can go in and you can run it on this other Excel form that we used. The new generation of this instrument is that when you are clicking on this cargo that is agreed, the Excel form, the curve will come and it will lay down on the screen of the instrument. So it will be there all the time when you are cleaning. So you just see that you have to be coming down, coming under, and there you are. It's easy. It's going to be better. But until so, we will have to do this. But what I've actually have seen many times with the ships is that this is what they are struggling with. And that's why I say that you have to get the cadets in, because they have grown up. They have been having the computer in bed all the time. Correct? You sleep with the computer? Do you know how to do this? But for some of the older captains, this can be a little bit cumbersome. But it is obtainable. This is what they basically are doing now in the practical session, and what you did just now. So this is just for your quick repeat, and for those who is next in, this can be good to have this as a pre-warning. The reason why they are standing a little bit long is because of they are working on to put some sound on. You see, we need to compare. We have decided that this 25 is the one that you will use, but actually 10 to 90 is also basically okay. But since you see, this is a 10 to 90, but that's okay. This is the standard that he made. For those who is not used to ball washers, and then he mixed it up with DI water. As I said, we will use 25-75 and not 10-90. But otherwise the procedure is exactly like that. No. What was that? That is not correct. I have not run this for a long time, but it is, of course, the not the quartz cell. You see, it is the
40 millimeter,
the big one.
Big mask.
not the quartz.
Big cell.
You see, they are using the cap. It is not that important to use the cap. You press the blue button when you are setting the reference. There is one thing that is not mentioned here is that it is very important that you mark the samples that you are doing. Mark it always. You have on board the small labs that you put on so you don't risk. That we have shown that 3 is okay. We were fishing herring, mackerel, and other things. And aside of the perils of the seas, one of the most dangerous things that we were working with was when we have to go down in the hull or in the tank to take up the smallest rests of the catch. This was used for making fish oil, so it was usually pumped on board, pumped ashore. Or they use these crabs to take it off. But thinking of that we, as responsible, that we shall accept that people should die for us. That is not acceptable. For Hansa, we have a desire that all the crew members shall be in a better condition than they came when they are going home. So therefore, we are not accepting that confined space entries shall continue to take lives. So what can we learn from other industries? For me, it was easy to find the fisheries because I've lost too many friends. The new ships, they are designed in such a way that they do not need to enter the cargo tanks when they have finished the discharging. The shape of the tanks is made such that everything is accessible from the deck. So when we make our in-house risk assessment, then the best answer is to remove the risk. Just then you should be satisfied with the assessment. Other things that was dangerous is that too many of the farmers lost their lives in the silos. The silos was where the farmers kept the grass for the winter time. And in order to avoid it to rotten, they have to use what we call and we know as formic acid. But the problem is that this process, like the same as on the fisheries, is that it is using oxygen. So we have several several tragical examples where whole farmer families have been found dead inside the silo. Because after a certain time you come down to the lower levels and you have to go down and you have to dig out the grass. And if it's the father goes in and he falls down and then his son jumps into, and we know the story. So this was also something that was very much to the concern for the government. So what they did was maybe not good for Greta Thunberg, I'm not sure, but they used plastic. And they make these bales. And this is airtight. So there is no oxygen coming in, so it serves the same purpose. Again, no silo, they have removed the risk. We went to several companies, Cepsa and Repsol, and we have tremendous problems with some of their terminals because they are, especially when we are discharging the veg oils, they are not allowing us to open up the tanks. So that means that there is a very high risk for collapsible of the cargo tanks because the lines and the vapor lines is clogged by high melting cargoes. In the same way we say that, okay, we can come with the tanks ready inerted. You don't need to have any surveyors to come on board. I think I will need to go and pick up my computer. That is the same as I said, that the wall wash do not represent the cargo tank. And in order to demonstrate it, this is a normal cargo tank, 1,000 cubic cargo tank. And if we should make an ideal wall wash, that means that we should wall wash the whole tank, everything, collect everything, and then we should have a wall wash sample of 0.3 cubic meters. So, if we assume that there is 5 milligrams, say here for the inorganic chlorides, the cargo tank this will all be picked up in the wall wash sample, and then we will have following calculation. The reason why we took up this was that the surveyors, when you asked them, they never calculated how much methanol they used, and they did not calculate how much they collected. But still, they could say that it contains that much ppm. So if I say that we use 1 liter, and milligram per liter is the same as ppm, so that will give you 5 ppm. Or if they use half, it will be 10 ppm. This is math. Even your grandmother can do this. Or if it's 200 milliliter, it will be 25 ppm. But we have exactly the same contamination in the tank. Okay? We have exactly the same contamination. But the report that the surveyor sends to the charterers is 5, or 10, or 20 ppm. If the limit is 5, the 5 will pass, the 2 other will fail. But the contamination in the cargo tank is exactly the same. Then you see how stupid it is. It doesn't give you anything. I have vessel laying on anchorage in Yanbu for 3 days, waiting for a surveyor to come on board. And when the surveyor came on board, he told the captain that for $2,500 I can accept your tanks here and now. That happens also. We know it. But the captain has sent his results, he said no. So, that was the one I was talking about. "93 fatalities." That was only for 15% of the port state. So to make the point again, the wall wash inspection has no legal value. In the event of the cargo claim, the surveyors, when they sign the certificate of cleanliness, it is valid up to the time of signing. 5 minutes after, it's not valid anymore. So, again, why should they have the right to say, when you see that they can get exactly the same result, as long as they don't calculate how much methanol they are using, how much they are collecting, how much is representing, they come up with absolutely zero. You can read. I'm just trying to get the focus on the washing water analysis. Again, the washing water analysis is telling you how much you're taking out of the cargo tank, previous cargo. What we have when using the washing water analysis is that we can stop the cleaning when it's not working anymore. We don't need to do the cool down of the cargo tanks, the gas feed of the cargo tanks, expose the crew members for again and again going into the cargo tanks. Other things that comes up also is that the savings, which is now becoming quite high up in the media, especially about the reducing of the CO2 emissions. But for every hour of hot water washing, we consume about 0.6 metric tons. And I think if you can save 1 metric ton, you have saved more than Greta Thunberg saved on the trip across the Atlantic, which is now on each and every newspaper page, how green she is. So if you can save 1 hour, you have done the same. So that must be something. Some more math. Now we have 43 ships. So it's even more. So beside for the safety, the saving for the owners, this is the saving for the environment. And we made a math in 2016 when I started here in Hansa. We actually monitored I went back in the files years and I took out what the vessel was doing. I knew it from before, basically, but just to have it confirmed. How long time have they cleaned? How have they cleaned? And then we made a template. And then we start using the spectrometers, and we noticed the savings in emission, in bunkers, in chemicals, and in time. And I was allowed to put the number on the time, because the actual time saving should be calculated with the daily hire of the vessel. Even though the vessel wasn't ballast, that doesn't matter. Even though you didn't actually physically save, but we say that, okay, we put a value on these hours that were saved because you could do something else, paint or whatever. Sometimes the vessel is out for cleaning, and then this hours is accountable directly. But nevertheless, at that time, with 30 ships, we saved between, and it's not 100%, but I have said that I were able to capture approximately 60 to 75%. But the saving for these 30 ships was $3.75 million. And it was confirmed again the year after that the savings actually have been more than $7 million for these 2 years. And this is money that goes directly back to the owners. I need to have my computer. Just give me 2 seconds.